Hello, this is a special edition of Patrick's View. Welcome. You know, I was really happy today to see there was no violence in Richmond. And I think a few things happened. One, my dowsing last night was saying it was going to be a big rally. It was going to be big. The numbers were physically big. And I commented on that as a possibility. And the other one was, it's really amazing. Probably when I put the video up all night last night and this morning, everybody was writing pretty much the same thing. Are the government officials in Virginia trying to create a tragedy? And they were warned by the people. Mine is just a small audience. Other audiences that have 100,000 viewers, they were all coming online. They are all saying the same thing. Don't do anything. We dare you. And I think I did dazzle. Let's do it one more time. I believe some federal officials contacted the Virginia people. Is that true? Like the FBI? Yes. The FBI. And they said it to the Virginia police and the political people. We're going to hold you responsible. Don't do anything. The whole world is watching. That's what happened. So everything worked. The prayers worked. I mean, it's hard to believe after the fact that they did, but it was repeated so often over and over again that it actually moved the whole situation over. And I think things were avoided by those 3 points I just made. In particular, the prayers were the most important, but other officials and other people their eyeballs started going on it. And I think Trump even talked about it too. He might have made a statement. So instead of being a minor protest, it became a very visible protest. And Max agrees. So I was, it kind of made me in the dumps. There was nothing we could do. That's all we could do is the video we put up. And I would say thousands of other people put videos up like that and some bigger sites. And I saw that the morning TV shows and stuff were, they're feeding the line as if there was going to be a big disaster of some sort, like they knew something, because they were feeding the narrative that this was a nationalist movement and things like that. So I think a tragedy, a bullet was dodged in essence. It really came off well. And I think that's the essence of what's happening. Slowly, these things are failing. And just look at Trump. He's been in office 3 years and his physical security is intact. And I can douse and say how often I'm not going to do it, how many serious attempts on his life. But they have the heads up. They have the people behind them. And we're going to still have more of these Richmond-like situations, so we're not out of the woods yet. And the dowsing, changed as I was talking through the day. I was going, well, this is significant. So I took it down, that video, because I didn't want to, I didn't feel good about putting it up. Not because of something, I don't like talking about those topics. I don't like talking about violence that's coming, the end of the world that's coming, even though I kind of slipped it in a few times, about where humanity is going. But I think you always have to step back and remember we are in control. Humanity, we are in control to a lot of extent. We can influence the outcome. And it's just by keeping a good, good head on our shoulders and don't get too weird and to stay focused to get through this time, because it's going to be a rough couple years. And it doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to happen. But if we don't do anything, it will happen. That's the crutch. And I think that's the lesson from Richmond. That's what it's talking about. And Max is all for this. He's talking to me. I don't know. I went to the hot springs this morning, and it was really awesome. It's one of my things I've done all my life, off and on. Sometimes I go years without going, but when I get an opportunity, this particular hot springs had a hot spring in the river, and you just go lay in it. It's just wonderful. It's very magical, and when I came home and I saw all the peaceful things happen, it was really excellent. So let's move forward, and I think we'll just keep using those tools. It's now I just wanted to stop. You guys, this one. This is a tension muscle tension, to find out if somebody's telling the truth, or and I use it a lot in critical situations. Like I have snow on my driveway, and I was wondering would I slide off the driveway. So I do this, and I go, will I make it to the top of the hill? And most of the time it goes, yeah, you make it. So I know I shouldn't be doing that, but so I did it for the 49ers and the Kansas City. And I think Kansas City's an interesting team. He is not, as I said before, he's one of the exceptions out there for the super athletes. They're like super soldiers, and they have been, they got chips in them. They got all sorts of things. They're different. They're all different, and they've been that trauma-based mind control when they are very young, when you splinter the personality apart, and you can bring forward that super athlete, and that's part of hypnosis, and also it's part of controlling people. And the best example of this is Tiger Woods. I mentioned it before, and I don't know all the things they did to him, but the other golfers always said in private it was unnatural. Especially when he got started, those first 10 years, he could just nail it. The distance he needed to go, to putt, it was just he had a flow, and that's what the trauma-based mind control things can do, to allow your athlete to come forward, to allow the fighter to come, the writer, whatever you need to come forward. And we all have those talents to some degree, but it causes a breakdown, and I think most of those athletes do have a breakdown, and it takes some time to get reconstructed. And a lot of the Hollywood actors, the real big ones, are like that too. They eventually have these breakdowns because it's the main personality tries to reassert control to get healed. And anyway, that's that. Oh, so I'm getting another team I don't want to win is going to win. So we need to visualize Kansas City to win. And I did this, and this is how it goes. You go, is the 49ers going to win? See, I'm really pulling tight, and it's tight. Is Kansas City going to win? See how it breaks? It's a yes-no answer. Keep it simple, and you're going through your subconscious, and I use this quite a bit. And it's most of the time correct. Now, a lot of these things, just like you have to interpret it, and you have to be open to outcomes that could shift. Like last night, we had a shift due to everybody. I mean, I saw many of these YouTubes and on networks. They were all talking about this, and that's kind of like what you wanted. You get it up to a certain stage where it's so visible, and it shifted. It really did. It really shifted, and it was totally peaceful, a big turnout. And I also think part of the problem with Charlottesville was the people who put it together, they weren't really good people. They were, and it was a really small area in Charlottesville. It was really combustible. Anyway, so that's it. So we got to visualize Kansas City winning. And let's shift this away from the 49ers, because the 49ers don't deserve it. They're just like, and as I say, Pat Mahoney is a real human being. That's his real personality. He's always has a gracious and a nice presentation. You can see it in his facial expression. And then the other ones, the other quarterbacks, are all like, did I mention them before? The super quarterbacks? I won't. But they're all like, they're boring. They're serious. They're monotone. They don't have any inflection in their words. And, I feel for them, but they win all the time because they have these unnatural abilities that's almost mechanically put in there. And that's what we're trying to change. So, I would say the Kansas City is the... I got to go get my dog. Good luck, and good things are happening.